Hey there, hi there, it's Maddie Q. I'm here with another post. This one's a bit serious, but it's something that's been weighing on my mind, and I really wanted to gather my thoughts before I spoke on this. I'd also like to give a shout out to Tammy, who messaged and requested to know what my perspective is on this. Thank you, Tammy, and please keep your comments, your questions, and your ideas coming because I would love to know what other topics that we can talk about. I eventually want to open discussions with people on these subjects, but that's something that I'm going to build into the future. For now, please feel free to DM me or message me on topics and thoughts and what you'd like to see next. So I want to start by saying that what happened to Charlie Kirk is horrible, and violence is never the answer to expressing your opinions. I don't condone it. I'm organizing some of my art supplies, so I might be distracted a little bit, but just try to keep up. I also want you to know that I was neither a strong supporter or opponent of Charlie Kirk, but what I respected was that he did engage in peaceful argument. He invited discussions, he made space for debate, and whether or not you agreed with him, I feel like there was at least the principle of speaking one's mind openly. But this incident, it needs to wake us all up. Like, honestly, believe it or not, it reflects how dangerously our society has changed, and empathy seems to be slipping away. I know what it's like to lose someone suddenly, and losing my husband unexpectedly, the shock, the horror, and the way that the grief hits, nothing can truly prepare you for it. So in watching the situation with Charlie Kirk, my heart goes out, especially to his widow, Erica. I mean, beyond the person who has died, there are so many ripple effects, like the trauma and the public scrutiny and, what the children will see and grow up with. Imagine seeing your loved one in that condition, and imagine knowing that that image will echo not just for you, but for your kids. I mean, they would have to witness it in news clips and the internet, and as time goes by, that mental burden that places on a child is unimaginable. So even as a parent, it's unending because grief doesn't just happen once, it just resurfaces and it lingers. I'm very thankful that my children did not see the image of their father that I did. My son was mad for a little bit because he didn't get to say goodbye to his dad in the hospital. And that to me was something I wanted to keep away from my children, the traumatic imagery of what he went through. And I made that decision in that moment not to let that be the only thing they remember of their father, because for a long time for me, it was very hard for me to sleep at night because all I would see was Oz in that hospital bed. When I lost Oz, one of the hardest moments was telling my children that daddy went to heaven and he won't be coming back. And it was by far the most difficult conversation of my life. As a parent dies, you have to not only process your grief, but also guide your children through theirs. And you have to stay strong for them, even when you're breaking inside. For Erica, I can only imagine how overwhelming that must all feel. I mean, the anger, the disbelief, the sadness, the confusion all at once. And when someone you love is taken violently and in the public eye like that, it's just not a private tragedy anymore. And it becomes something that many watch and then they comment on and they reshare. And your spouse and your children, that publicness adds like a layer of pain. They're going to see the headlines, they're going to see the videos, they're going to see the opinions and hear the opinions, and all while they're trying to reconcile their loss. And the horror and the love, what are they going to believe? What memories are they going to carry? It just makes you feel so sad for them, because how will they trust in safety again? How will they, trust in justice again or in empathy? You literally have people that are laughing at his death. Do you not think that those children will see those videos eventually one day and think how people can be that cruel? This isn't about politics. This is about simple human decency. I mean, we shouldn't be taking each other's lives over differences. We should not be so divided that violence seems like the only answer. It starts in the home. It begins with how we teach our children how to treat others, with kindness, with listening, with disagreeing, but without hatred. We need to normalize mental health support as well for ourselves and for our kids. If someone is hurting, we should be there for them. If someone is angry or in pain, we should help them find help, not to shame them, not to ignore them or see them as other. I hope Erica and her family can find peace. I hope they are surrounded by love and compassion and respect. I hope that as a society, we can look at this tragedy and say no more. We decide to rebuild empathy, one conversation, one action at a time. Thank you for listening. If you've been affected by this and you've lost someone unexpectedly, I see you. I stand with you. Let's lean on kindness. Let's refuse to let this become normal. No tragedy like this should ever just be another headline. If this resonated with you, you really felt this, feel free to share your thoughts. I believe it's the only way to have an honest conversation, through caring, and that way we can all start to heal. And take care of yourselves, be gentle, and let's commit to doing better.